Let's do this. Welcome to the Marketing Combat Podcast. My name is Jason Donnelly, and today we have an exciting topic, so I want to go straight into it and introduce my co-host, my friend, my boss, my partner in crime. I don't know what you want to call him, but his name is Chris Cubernus.
What's up, everybody? My name is Chris Cubernus, and welcome to the Marketing Combat Podcast. If you're new here, this is how it works. Basically, every day of the week, not the weekend, we like to take the weekends off, but every day of the week, we battle it out for your marketing pleasure about a certain topic within the industry. Some are hot topics, some are green content topics, right? So like, how is social media worth paying for? And is this app any good? Or blah, 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 right? So we basically battle it out every weekday for your pleasure. One of us gets to choose what side they're on, and the other person has to battle for the other side. So they have to play devil's advocate. Today, we're actually talking about Cannes, the creative festival, the advertising festival in the southeast of France on the Mediterranean. It's been a festival going on for many, many years. If you're in the advertising industry, you probably have heard of it. It is a festival plus an award show, and it was last week. I was there, and today's topic is Cannes worth going to? And I'm going to take the position that it is worth going to, and I'm going to argue for it, and Jason's going to argue for why it is not worth going to. It is a waste of your time. And I'm going to say that Cannes is definitely worth going to for a couple of different reasons. Mainly, if you do it the right way, if you maybe ignore spending the big ticket prices on the actual festival, there is a ton of offshoot talks and meetings and events that are not part of they are part of the festival, but they're not paying the high price to go sit in the amphitheater and sit and do the workshops and hear Kevin Hart speak and, Ryan Reynolds speak. And if you don't want to do those things and you don't want to go to the award show, if you do all the offshoot stuff, then you don't have to pay for the ticket. You can go to the free event and you're just paying for basically room and board while you're at Cannes. And those talks are great. I mean, there's a lot of insight there. There's a lot of people trying to learn. Those events, they've taught me a lot. I learned a lot. You get to take a temperature on the industry. You get to hear what people are struggling with. There's a little bit of politicking, meaning like, well, I was at the Meta Beach quite a bit. Meta obviously pushing their own products, their own services, where they're going, why they're the best advertising platform out there. So there's a little bit of promote sort of stuff going on. But if you can wade through that, then you can get to the good stuff and really learn a lot. And I learned a lot about where I think I've been making some mistakes in our own marketing and in our own business model and in my own way of handling some things that I've done over the last couple of years. So that was actually like kind of some epiphanies. And I don't know if I want to get into them on the podcast here, but I had two really big epiphanies that made it worth the ticket price, at least for me, that made me see some things in some new light. And I'm excited to work on that, right? So it gave me some new energy, gave me some new insights, new ways of working, new ways of thinking. And so I'm super stoked to get started on that. So that's why I think Cannes is worth it. Plus, I'll just add this element to it. If you want to be in an industry, you got to wrap your hands around that industry and you got to get in there. You got to be in the game. If I was into coffee, like I love coffee, but I'm not a coffee maker. But if I was a coffee maker and Juan Valdez was having his international Juan Valdez conference in Colombia, I would have to be there. I would need to be there because this is my industry and I want to embrace it and be a part of it and be a part of that culture. And that's why I would say like Cannes is the festival of creativity for the advertising world. You got to go. You got to be a part of it. You got to soak it all in. That's my last say. I know I'm over time. Sorry about that, Jason. Hit me. Why is Cannes not worth it? I want to hear this because I think you're probably right.
Chris, I'm going to tell you, I think that I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear your epiphanies because I want to use them and hear them and see what we can do with them.
I don't know if you want to use them.
I'll use them. If they're epiphanies, they're worth it. But here,
maybe.
No, I don't think Cannes worth it. I think that you can get everything that you get out of Cannes right from home, networking, going online, learning. It's all about learning and being a part of the industry. Be a part of the industry from wherever you are without spending thousands upon thousands of dollars, especially for young creatives that are just going to party. I mean, the whole thing, Cannes is, or it used to be at least, this big party where everybody just goes and has a great time for a week. But at this point, it just feels like it's a bunch of high-end marketing guys. How do I say this appropriately? That's not it's just a bunch of people who have been in the industry and are making ads and hoping that people will tap each other on the back, to me. And I hear you, and I'm glad that you had epiphanies. But at the end of the day, many of us don't have plane tickets to go to the south of France to hang out on yachts just to be seen at Cannes. That being said, right. This is coming from someone who's never been there.
Oh, yeah. But that's, I mean, listen,
everything that I've read.
Get where you're, everything you read. I get where you're coming from totally. And I think it's a good, healthy mindset to go in and say, like, what if this is a circle, like you said, and what if this is actual value? And I think there's that. And I think there's that anywhere you go when it comes to an award ceremony. There's anytime you attach any kind of industry awards, industry nights sort of stuff, there is a lot of people clapping each other on the back, congratulating each other for a work that, maybe, and in the background, they're all hating each other because they're like, why did you get that client? And why can't I win that award? And I think that there's a fair bit of two-facedness. There's a fair bit of backstabbing. There's a fair bit of jealousy. There's a fair bit of, a lot of that negative stuff, right? So it
feels like it would just be ego upon ego upon ego upon ego, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And it's like, who's got the best party? Who's got the best yacht?
Yeah. Is Kevin Hart at your party? Is Ryan Reynolds there? I can't wait.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that. And I also, I didn't get on a yacht, so I had no yacht experience. But we did joke that we want to, like, if Cubco could do it, we'd have the shittiest yacht. We'd call it the Shat. And if you wanted to be on the Shat, get your Shat on the Shat. We would we would try to do that. But, there's a lot of like, hey, look at me, look at us. We're doing amazing.
That's a shatty party.
That's a shatty party. And I mean, it would be the best party, but it'd be the shattiest party as well. So,
but see, right there, we're already in a competition.
Yeah, exactly right. I think one of the epiphanies I'll leave you guys with this in the debate here, and you guys can chime in afterwards and let us know what your thoughts are on Cannes. I will say that it's only the big network agencies that can afford, obviously, like the yacht and the parties and the stuff like that, except for maybe Vayner, which is interesting, right? Vaynerchuk and VaynerMedia have really, spent a lot of money at Cannes, and you can see that. And I think it's translating into business for them, which, clearly is true, because you can see them growing and you can see their influence growing in the industry. But other than that, it's all technology. It's all Facebooks and this ad platform and this consultancy group. So I wonder if there's room for small to medium-sized advertising agencies, because clearly they're not the ones that are able to make big moves, right? And obviously, right? So it's an interesting sort of epiphany that I had on that as well. I'm not including that in the two, but I do think it's interesting to see that the technology, the publishers, the platforms, the consultancies, there's the one that can splash cash, and the lowly creative agencies that win their Cannes Lions are not the ones that can afford it. It's quite interesting. But yeah, I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you for tuning in. If you're at Cannes, drop us a like, drop us a mention. We would love to hear from you. Let us know what your experience was. Was it worth it for you? Was it not? Will you be coming next year? And will you be joining us on our Shat?
I'm going to be on the Shat.
Yeah, we're all going to be. And we're going to have William Shatner there. And hopefully he makes it till then. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the things that you could do. Just hit all the buttons, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you next time.